Hi everyone, welcome back to the Art of Business English. Well, if you're new to the AOBE, then in today's episode it is the second in a three-part series on using dependent prepositions. Okay, so if you haven't checked out last week's episode on dependent prepositions after verbs, then I encourage you to do so. You can check that out on iTunes or over at the AOBE website. Now, in this week's episode, we'll be looking at adjectives with dependent prepositions, okay? So as I mentioned last week, even though we are looking at prepositions, we're not covering the basics like prepositions of movement, time, place, etc. We're actually looking at more advanced structure, okay, with fixed expressions. I personally love these. I've learnt them. They don't change, okay? And then you know them for life. So that's the advantage. As you will see, I've divided this episode into three parts, okay? First, we'll be looking at adjectives plus dependent prepositions, what they mean, okay? Then I will give you a list of adjectives with dependent prepositions and their translation. And finally, I'll give you some sample sentences in context, okay? The sample sentences will be given in the context of business English, okay? And I'll give you the business area. So let's get started. So what are adjectives with dependent prepositions? Well, basically many adjectives when used in a sentence are formed with a preposition, and these prepositions occur as a natural part of the English language, and generally there is no rule to define which preposition goes with which adjective. So this basically means you have to learn them, okay? You have to learn them by heart, which is de memoria. And the upside to this is that once you've learnt the structure, it doesn't change. And there are no exceptions, okay? So when the adjective is formed with a preposition, it creates a specific meaning. And if you don't use the correct preposition or no preposition at all, then it will sound wrong, okay? Especially to a native person. So where do problems arise? Well, problems arise in that in expressions that are similar to English, okay? This is where we have the main problems. For example, in Spanish, interesado en is often confused because the expression is almost the same as interested in. Sometimes the preposition used by non-native speakers will be on or to, so people will say to be interested on or interested to, and this occurs when a speaker applies an incorrect translation, okay? Generally, meaning is not affected, however, fluency and accuracy are. Okay, so if someone will understand you basically, but it sounds wrong, okay? So generally this happens because we assume that a preposition, we assume the translation of a specific preposition, and that assumption is wrong. So now that we have basically what is clear and with adjectives and dependent prepositions, and basically we have clear what they are, let's have a look at the list of adjectives with dependent prepositions, okay? So adjectives followed by dependent prepositions. So in the first one, we've got, I'll just give you the adjective and the preposition, and then I'll give you the translation, all right? So firstly, according to. According to means según. So according to Chabi, the party is at 7 o'clock. Accustomed to. Accustomed to basically means estar acostumbrado a. Afraid of. Afraid of means tener miedo de. Annoyed with, annoyed about, or annoyed at is enojado con. Anxious about. Anxious about means ansioso por. Ashamed of. Ashamed of means avergonzado de. Astonished at. Astonished at means asombrado por. Aware of. Consciente de. Crazy about. Loco por. Delighted at or delighted about means encantado con. Different from means diferente de. Satisfied with means contento con. Doubtful about. Doubtful about means indeciso sobre. Enthusiastic about. So enthusiastic about. This means entusiasmado con. Entusiasmado con. Next one is envious of. Envious. Okay, envious of means envidioso de. Famous for. This is easy. It's famoso por. Fed up with. Fed up with. Okay, this is harto de. Okay. Next one, fond of. Tener afecto por. Okay, fond of. Next one is frightened of. Frightened of means asustado por. And next one, good at. So to be good at means ser bueno en. Okay. Here there's a very common mistake because people think that it's to be good in something, because in Spanish it is ser bueno en. Okay, so careful with that one. The next one is guilty of. Okay, guilty of means culpable de. And following on from that, interested in, interesado en. Jealous of. Jealous of means celoso de. Keen on. Keen on is entusiasta de. Mad at or mad about. This means enfadado por. Opposed to. Opposed to basically means en contra or en contra de. Pleased with. Pleased with is contento con. Proud of. Proud of is orgulloso de. So proud of. Proud of is orgulloso de. And the next one is puzzled by or puzzled about. To be puzzled is confused, confundido, or extrañado por. Okay, and then from here, safe from. Safe from is a salvo de. Sensitive to or sensitive towards. This means sensible a. Serious about. Serious about means to tomar en serio, ¿vale? Tomar algo en serio. Sick of. To be sick of means harto de. Similar to. Ser parecido a. So similar to. Ser parecido a. Sorry for or sorry about. This basically means arrepentido por. Suspicious about or suspicious about with a neutra. Suspicious of or suspicious about. Suspicaz. Tired of. Tired of is estar cansado de. And the last one, which is unaware of. Unaware of means no ser consciente de algo. Okay, so that's quite a long list, as you can see. Obviously there are more. However, these are a good start and quite commonly used adjectives with dependent prepositions. So let's look now at the final part of the episode, which is putting these sample sentences into context. Okay, so example sentences in context. In the last part of this episode, I'll be giving you a quick look at these sample sentences with a business focus in mind. So first I'll give you the business situation, then I'll give you the adjective with the preposition, and then I'll give you a sample sentence. Okay, so the first one is in a meeting, okay, and the adjective plus preposition is to be anxious about. So example sentence: our staff are anxious about the recent number of layoffs. We should send a memo to clarify everything. Okay, so our staff are anxious about the recent number of layoffs, and we should send a memo to clarify everything. Next one, when you're reporting to someone. So this one is opposed to, so adjective plus preposition is opposed to. The board is opposed to our latest proposal. We'll have to go back to the drawing board. Okay, so back to the drawing board basically means go back to zero, back to the planning stage. So the board is opposed to our latest proposal. We will have to go back to the drawing board. And now email. Let's have a look at an email. and in an email we could use the adjective and preposition sorry for. So the example, we are sorry for any inconvenience caused and hope this voucher will make up for the time wasted. So quite a formal email and responding to a complaint probably, and the offer of a voucher. So we are sorry for any inconvenience caused and hope this voucher will make up for the time wasted. Now to make up for is recompensar, una recompensa. Alright, next one, prepositions, okay? Sorry, next one, presentation. In a presentation we could say proud of, okay? Adjective plus preposition, proud of. Pharmaco is proud of its wide range of high quality products. So Pharmaco is proud of its wide range of high quality products. And another one, on a company tour we could say something with this adjective and preposition similar to. So as you can see, this product line is similar to the one I showed you earlier. As you can see, this product line is similar to the one I showed you earlier. Alright, let's have a look then at a telephone call. In a telephone call we could use the expression to be enthusiastic about. Hello Brian, yes, it's nice hearing from you. I'm happy to report that the new investors are enthusiastic about the latest stock price. So hello Brian, yes, it's really nice hearing from you. I'm happy to report that the new investors are enthusiastic about the latest stock price. And the last one, at a press conference we could use serious about. The company is serious about undoing the damage caused by these allegations. So the company is serious about undoing the damage caused by these allegations. Okay, so those are some sample sentences. Okay, here you can see that many of these adjectives and dependent prepositions are followed by objects or nouns. Okay, if you're interested in learning more about sentence structure, then I encourage you to listen to episode 15 and 16, okay, which you can find over at the AOBE website. Okay, well that pretty much brings me to the end of the episode, and I'll just give you some final thoughts then. Basically, I hope you've enjoyed the episode, of course. As I said earlier, it's the second part of a 3-part series. So make sure you guys stay tuned for next week, okay, where I give you the last episode, okay, and I'll wrap up the series by looking at noun preposition collocations. And if you're looking for some ideas on how to study and internalize these adjectives with dependent prepositions, then I encourage you to start by learning 5 at a time. As you have the translation, you should note down the ones that you think you will use the most, okay, and then keep the list at your desk or on your phone as a digital note. When you have to write your next email, you should pull out your list and think of which ones you could include. Alright? And remember, it is much easier to learn these in small blocks of 5 than trying to remember them all. Alright, it's very important. And remember, once you start putting them into practice, become part of your global vocabulary. So once you've internalized them, you will use them more frequently, okay, and you won't make any mistakes with prepositions. And finally, as always, if you guys have enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and family. That way we can reach more people and help them to improve their business English too. And don't forget to listen to next week's episode where we'll be finishing the series. And I hope everyone has a fantastic week or weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. So take care now.